The North Isles of Rousay, Egilsay and Wyre lie between the Orkney West Mainland and Westray. These islands are separated by narrow sounds or channels which accelerate the flows of the ebb and flood tides. Fast currents and shallow depth combine to make this an ideal habitat for merle, a purplish-coloured seaweed that forms hard, coral-like twigs and nodules. These structures accumulate over time to create beds of merle on the seafloor. Researchers are studying the distribution and structure of merle beds, their biodiversity value and their possible role in capturing and storing carbon. The merle beds in Wyre and Rousay Sounds are extensive. Wyre Sound alone is estimated to contain over 11 square kilometres of this habitat. In some parts of the bed, the tidal currents move the merle and other sediments around, forming them into waves on the seabed. Merle is a coralline red seaweed or alga. Superficially, it resembles coral, but it is in fact a seaweed with an unusual chalky calcium carbonate skeleton. When alive, merle is pinkish-purple in colour, but when the alga within dies, only its white skeleton is left behind. The intricate structure of merle creates plentiful spaces where small marine life thrives. In turn, this attracts larger creatures and predators. Merle beds are an important habitat for scallops. The scallop's upper and lower shells open so it can filter feed, and its simple eyes and tentacles help it to detect possible threats so it can react to danger by shutting its shell. When majorly disturbed, or to change feeding location, scallops can swim away like a living pair of castanets. A reddish common sunstar sits on the merle bed. Other starfish hunt for prey over the merle. Their arms help trap and hold on to suitable food items, which are then moved to its central mouth underneath its body. Tube-dwelling fanworms, buried in the merle bed, extend a crown of tentacles in search of plankton until they detect danger. Many species of crab live on the merle bed habitat. Here's a striking velvet swimming crab with its telltale red eyes. This green crab is scuttling away with food. Hermit crabs make use of old seashells to protect themselves from predators, but they're still fast movers. This brown edible crab, locally known as a parton, is hiding out in a hollow. Meanwhile, this spider crab uses a different protection strategy. It stays out in the open, but is a master of seaweed camouflage. On the edge of the merle beds lie meadows of seagrass, underwater relatives of more familiar land-based flowering plants. Like merle, seagrass beds also enhance local biodiversity and may also be an important stock of carbon. Amongst the seagrass, a group of sea slugs have converged to mate and to lay their eggs. After this collective breeding event, the sea slugs leave behind an amazing collection of spiral-shaped egg deposits on the seafloor. Merle is another important store of carbon, although this is challenging to quantify. Simply collecting a sample of the bed's deeper layers takes hard work, as the typical thickness of these merle beds is well in excess of 1 metre. Scientists will analyse the material gathered to work out how much organic carbon it contains and over what timescales the deposits were laid down. Radiocarbon dating suggests that merle beds take several thousand years to build up. It's been estimated that merle grows very slowly, usually just a few millimetres per year. Given the extent of the merle beds, it's clear that they hold significant amounts of what is known as blue carbon. Finding out more about the carbon storage capacity and vulnerability of marl beds are therefore key topics of research interest, alongside the incredible biodiversity value they hold. The scientific dive team returns to the surface with more sea life data and photographic records, as well as the core samples from the marl bed. These will be analysed in a laboratory in nearby Stromness. The importance of these marl beds as providers of species-rich seabed habitat and long-term carbon stores has led to designation of the sounds around Rousay, Egilsay and Wyre as a marine protected area, and their recognition as a key feature in the Orkney carbonate production area. Information gathered from Orkney's marl beds is helping to increase our understanding of the biodiversity and blue carbon value of this complex and special habitat.